What's up guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we are doing a special range test on the brand new Talaria XXX. If you guys are new to these type of range test videos that we do, we come out to this undisclosed location and we have an 8-mile stretch of road that we run back and forth until the battery dies. We do this test in eco mode and sport mode and we hold full throttle in each mode. So we're going to be running it until 50% battery, then we'll do a check-in, and then we're gonna run it down all the way to 2% right before it dies. Let's head out. All right guys, we're gonna start off with the eco mode test. We got my GPS computer right here. Here we go.
All right guys, make sure and like and subscribe, and then comment down below how far you think it'll go. We'll follow him in the truck.
Okay, for this eco mode test, we are holding about 28.5 miles an hour, almost 29. Our speedo right here is actually really accurate. It says 29, we're doing 28.7 on the GPS. So that's a little bit faster than the other Talaria models in eco mode. So we'll have to see what happens. A little bit of context, I weigh 185 pounds. I'm a pretty tall guy, I'm 6'3". So just keep that in mind during this test.
All right, guys, I'm gonna start out in the sport mode. Let's see how far it goes. You ready?
Ready.
All right, guys, just starting out in the sport mode. This thing is fast. We're sitting at 48 miles an hour. The Talaria R was doing 51 miles an hour, and that thing went 20.9 miles on the sport mode test. So we're gonna see how far this 40 amp hour battery does compared to the Talaria R 45 amp hour battery. Quick little update for you guys. We are going 49 miles per hour, which is crazy fast for this bike. We're totally blown away. We've gone 2.9 miles and we're at 89%. So things are looking good.
All right guys, let's check in with Lance in eco mode, see how he's doing. How's it going?
I think this bike's gonna go a long ways.
Is it?
We're doing great.
Nice.
9 miles an hour consistent, and we're still at 80%. I've done 10 miles.
Wow, that's crazy.
That's awesome. I'm really curious to see how far this bike goes because of the Street Supermoto tires. We haven't done a range test yet with street tires, so I'm excited to see how far it goes. I think it's gonna go a long ways. Looks like we got a big storm brewing up here, so I hope that it doesn't come this way. I don't wanna have to stop this test if it starts pouring rain. This eco mode bike is crushing it. We are just about to tick over to 75% battery. We're still at 76, and we've done 12.7 miles. So you guys do the math on that, but we might be pushing close to 50 miles by the time we are done at a speed of 28.5 to 29 miles an hour. That is crazy good for an e-bike, especially for my size and weighing 185 pounds. I got a lot of wind blowing past this tall body, and we are doing crazy good. 75, we're almost at 13 miles. That's insane.
We just broke the 75% mark. We're at 74% and still holding strong at 49 miles per hour. We've gone 7 miles so far and we're just cruising. If you guys haven't seen our full review video on this bike, definitely go check it out. There's gonna be a link down in the description. In that video, I went over the seat a little bit and said that it was very narrow, but as I'm riding it for this long, I'm really liking it. It's not too bad. It is still narrow, but the padding on the seat, I think they did a really good job making it as comfortable as they could with the frame that they were working with. So we're gonna go up here, see how far we can go. We'll catch you guys at 50%.
All right, here's Alex in sport mode. He is flying. That bike is so fast.
We're creeping up on 50%. We're at 55. Gonna update you at 50%, but I just want to quickly go over our plans for this bike. We're gonna be keeping this bike for a really long time, throwing some aftermarket upgrades. We're gonna do a ton of videos, We actually have a dirt wheel setup coming. It's a 17-inch rear, 19-inch front, and that's gonna do really well off-road. We're gonna do an entire video on that coming soon. You'll need to check that out because we're gonna compare it to the Talaria Sting R, which for now is the top dog at off-road riding. And we just hit the 50% mark, so we're gonna coast down.
All right, guys, Alex is at 50% on the sport mode bike. Let's see how far he went.
Yeah, so this bike went 11.2 miles in about 17 minutes. That's crazy impressive. The Talaria R went 9.8 miles. So this is on track to totally smash that record.
That's awesome. I think the Supermoto wheels help a lot. I think how light the bike is helps a lot.
Absolutely. We're gonna let this motor cool. Oh, this bike is running 6.5 kilowatts and the Talaria R is running 8, yet this only goes 2 miles an hour slower. So that's crazy impressive. We're gonna let the motor cool and keep going.
I think this might beat the Talaria Sting R. Comment down below if you think it will, and let's keep going.
Coming up on 50%, so we're gonna be pulling over in just a couple of minutes and we'll go over how we've done in the first half of the battery, and then we're gonna let the bike cool a little bit, let that motor cool, and then we're gonna keep going. So I'll see you guys at 50%.
All right, guys, I just caught up with Lance in eco mode at 50%. How's it going?
Oh, you got a horsefly biting me. This bike is crushing it. So this has a smaller battery than the Talaria Sting R and a little bit bigger battery than the Talaria MX3. And we're at 50%, and we have done 24.5 miles on our GPS. We've been riding for 52.5 minutes exactly, and we've averaged just a little bit over 28 miles an hour, which is actually a little faster than the Sting R. Now, to compare that really quick to the Sting R did 24.9 miles at 50%, so we are just behind the Sting R, even though we have quite a bit smaller battery. Like, this thing, there's a chance we're gonna actually get 50 miles, I think. Maybe for sure upper 40s. And that's with a guy that's 6'3" and 185 pounds and a lot of wind blowing past me. So this is super impressive. I think the lighter weight of this bike and especially the Supermoto wheels are helping it go further. It's been super smooth to ride, and everybody's been wondering how this seat is to ride because it's obviously super slender here. It's actually not that bad. I've been sitting on it for almost an hour now, and it's not too bad. And I'm a tall guy, like I said. I'm excited to do the other half of the test here. Comment down below, guys, right now. Pause the video, go comment how far you think this bike is gonna go in eco mode, and drop a comment and let us know if you wanna see the same range test on the Talaria R with the same Supermoto wheel set. Okay, let's head out.
Just past 23 miles an hour, still holding very strong at 48 miles per hour. We've ran for about 25 minutes and gone 16 miles. This thing's awesome. I'm loving the range. I'm loving the seat, actually. It's not bad. We're just vibing. We're cruising. I really do think it's gonna beat the Talaria R on this test. This bike's only running the 6.5 kilowatts instead of the Talaria R's 8. But it is so light. The Supermoto wheels help so much. This is what this bike was meant to do. The Supermoto kit, the frame, this bike was built for road.
Update, we are at 25% battery left. We have ridden just over 35 miles in an hour and 17 minutes. We're still going 27.5 miles an hour, so we've slowed down just a little bit throughout the battery, but very consistent on our speed and the feel of the bike. Yeah, we're doing pretty good. I will update you guys again at 10%, and then we'll go all the way down to 2% to end this test.
Uh-oh, we're draining very fast. We're at 15%, only gone 18 miles, and speed's dropping down to about 42.6 miles per hour. I don't know, this is getting close. If it keeps dropping like this, it might not break the Talaria Sting R's record, but we'll have to see. We're coming to the end of the wire. We're down at 5%. We've gone 20.2 miles. This is gonna be very close to the Talaria Sting R. We're still hitting 40 miles per hour, which is crazy at this low.
All right, the eco mode bike is at 10% battery remaining. We are still clipping along at 27 miles an hour, which is super consistent all the way throughout the battery. We're at 21.9 miles on our GPS. We only need 3 more miles and we will tie the Sting R. Let's see if we can get that. We got 8% more to go and then this test will be over. We'll see you guys at 2%.
Just hit 3%. We got 1% more to go. Are we gonna break the 21 mile mark? We're at 20.8 miles. I don't know. Going 30 miles an hour now. Just hit 21 miles. And there's the 2% mark. So we're gonna take it off, let it coast to a stop, because that's gonna finish up the sport mode range test.
All right, guys, Alex is dead in sport mode. How far did it go?
It broke the 21 mile mark. We've got 21.2 miles.
Dang.
That is 0.3 miles further than the Talaria R, which is crazy.
It beat the Sting R with the smaller battery.
We're gonna check on Lance in eco mode and go over all the numbers at the end of the video.
We're doing good. We're almost dead.
All right, guys, that is 2%. We're gonna let off the throttle here, coast to a stop, and let's see how we did. The crazy thing is we stayed all the way up in the upper 26 miles an hour, even at the very end at 2%. So this bike was extremely consistent all the way down from 100% to 2. This bike is super impressive. All right, you guys, that is the eco mode test done. This bike was super impressive. The speed was totally consistent all the way throughout the battery. We started in the upper 28 mile an hour and ended in the upper 26 mile an hour. So that is extremely consistent. The closest we've seen on any e-bike that we've done a range test on. We've got 2% battery left and we did 45.8 miles, an hour and 40 minutes of ride time, and an average speed of 27.5, which is faster than the other tests we've done as well. This is the furthest bike we've ever tested, further than the Sting R at 45 miles exactly, and it has quite a bit smaller battery. So this bike is extremely efficient and has a super good range, even at 6'3" and 185 pounds. I'd love to see how far like a 130-pound small rider could go. I bet they could easily go 50, probably even further. Super impressed with this bike, guys. It's awesome.
Alright guys, that's going to wrap up the range test video. As you saw, this bike went really far. We're really impressed. So the sport mode went 21.2 miles, eco mode went 45.9 miles. Both of those beat the Sting R, which is really impressive. We're going to throw up the old range test numbers from the Talaria Sting R and the MX3 on there so you can compare the two. And that's going to wrap it up. We'll catch you guys later. See ya.
See ya.